Welcome to Calc 3, online or maybe in the classroom. I'm going to use the same video for both because the setup is the same. You have clicked start here, hopefully to find my video right there under the introduction syllabus. I'm going to talk through the website real quick just to make sure that you have a clear expectation on what to expect this week and moving forward through the semester. So first thing I'm going to post here, because this is very important. Do you have to come to campus to test? Those of you that are in my online test in class, yes, we'll test in class. Those of you guys that are online, yes, you have to come to campus. Unfortunately, there is, because of the nature of Calc 3 content, there is no great way for me to do Zoom online exams, and that piles up quickly. Just to give you an example, if I had 5 people needing Zoom proctoring from me, that's 5 times 3 hours. And then if I have all of them at once, it becomes harder for me to proctor. It's just not worth it. So you will have to go to a testing center. Now, the good thing is, if you are far from Tulsa, if you are close to another college, university, some kind of testing center, some libraries will proctor for you, and those usually are the cheaper route. You can go to one of those and I'll send it to that. Now, it has to be proctored. It has to be a formal place. I'm not going to let your aunt watch you or your uncle or friend. I also will no online proctoring, no proctor you or anything like that. I've had too many problems with that, and there are also security issues with that. Let me jump over to student view real quick because I want to make sure you guys are seeing it the same way. It's not much different so far, so let me just switch over because of the way it goes through. All right, you're in start here. We just did the do you have to come to campus? My answer is yes, unfortunately. So if you need to contact me to talk to me, please send me. No online testing will be considered, so don't waste your time. But I would like to work with you to find something. All right, so how do I contact my professor? This is probably your fastest way if you just have a quick question. It is a Google number. So you could text me from another Google number or your phone number if you'd like. If you're not comfortable with that, which I understand, I have my email. This goes straight to my phone as well. I'm just a little slower. I'm not sure why, but I'll respond within 2 business days. Most of the time I'll respond over the weekend if it's nothing that's going to take me an hour to record a video or anything like that. So please reach out when you have questions, and I'll get back as soon as I can. Okay, what materials required for this course? This is the same book from Calc 1 and 2 at TCC if you took it just recently in the last couple semesters. You don't need a physical book unless you want one. It is a new edition, so it's kind of pricey on that end, but you don't need that. All you need is MyLab access. Some of you guys have bought multiple semesters. If not, you'll be able to purchase through the Pearson website or the bookstore. I think the bookstore is more expensive, but if you have financial aid, that may be your only route. Okay, what material will we cover in this course? This class is taking calculus in 2 dimensions and moving it over to 3. So that's what we'll be working on. We'll spend a fourth of the class just working on vectors and vector functions and how to deal with those with calculus. And then we'll work into 3 space. Okay, what is required of you? Weekly, we'll do 2 to 3 sections. I think most weeks are 2. I think I have 1 week of 3 sections that you'll have to do. If you're on my online class, you're expected to watch the video lectures. I have guided notes. I find that helps a whole lot. I struggle with online classes because it's hard for me to pay attention in Zoom classes or videos. This is my way to help you through that. I know if I'm writing something down and going through it, I tend to do a little better. I've also found that my students that just watch the videos and not take notes have a hard time recalling what is needed to understand when they jump into the homework. It's better just to write it down and have it right there. And then you'll complete MyLab homework. The MyLab homework, I'm going to have you do MyLab work shown, which it's a second assignment, but it's the same problems. All you're going to do, and I'll show you an example, you'll write the problem down for MyLab, and then you'll show your work. I'm not going to go through this and find right or wrong answers or anything like that. That's what MyLab is for. I just want you doing that because for several reasons. You can go back and study. I'm not going to give you guys reviews. That's pretty common in upper math classes. You'll just have to study the homework section, so it's better to have it written down. Well, to encourage you to do that, it is worth 10% of your grade. So you'll have to do that, write the problem down, write the answer. Now, I don't give a ton of homework problems, but it does take a bit because the problems can get longer. So that begs the question, is there a lot of homework then if you're going to have to write it down? Kind of. It's about the same amount of homework as a normal calc class. I don't have anything excessive. At one point, I was asking a decent amount from students, but I've actually just kind of narrowed that down to just a homework expectation and a test expectation, and showing your work and making sure your notation is correct. So here's the thing. If you wait, because you're in an online course, those of you watching this in online, if you're in classroom, we get to spread it out. It's a little easier to manage your time because we do a lecture Monday, do a lecture Wednesday. You can space your homework out according to that, and it's easier to stay on track. Those of you in the online course, or if you missed class, if you wait until the day it's due, you're going to overwhelm yourself so much. That means you have to watch up to 4 hours of videos, because that's up to 2 hours in each one. That's the class time. None of them, I think, are really that long. I think there's one maybe that gets kind of long, but one or two, but most of them are not up to that. And then you have to do homework for those. So those of you that are waiting till Monday, which is our due dates, waiting till Monday night to start, or Monday after work, or whatever you're doing, that means you're going to have to somehow watch possible 4 hours of videos of Calc 3, understand it, and then apply it to your homework, how much time that takes you there. That you're setting yourself up for failure. Not because you're incapable of the math, but that's a lot to ask yourself to do in such a short amount of time. A different way to think about it, and I write it in here, that's like doing the course in 16 days, because you'd only be doing Calc 3 on the day that it's due. So you would be doing a whole course in 16 straight days. That's pretty crazy. Spread it out. It's totally manageable if you do that. It's 2 lectures, twice a week. Give yourself 2 days a week to have a good amount of time. Or I would even do 1 day of watching a guided notes, start your homework, and then the second day finish up homework. Always start your homework though right after videos. There's data that shows that the longer you wait, this is for class too. If you can start as soon as you're done with class, there's so much more. You retain more, and it's like exponential loss with time. So if you wait 2 hours, 3 hours a day to do your homework, 6 days to do your homework, something like that, you're not going to retain very much. So if you stay on it, I think the answer to this is a no. But if you procrastinate like crazy and wait till the very last minute to do all of it, this is going to feel like a yes. What are my exams like? Okay, this is supposed to be a the right there. But the content covered in my exams closely aligns with the homework assignments. I keep the difficulty level of my exams relatively moderate, with a few challenging questions to separate my top performers. There, you won't encounter new or unfamiliar material that wasn't covered. That doesn't mean I'm going to give you problems that are exactly like the homework problems. Now, I may, those are good problems and you've done them, and I would have different numbers with them. But I'm not promising that they're going to be the same problems. But I promise you will know how to do it if you could do the homework problems. You may have to make some small little connection, not a new connection, but just see it. But I promise if you've done the homework, you're not going to be surprised on the test. Exams go from 10 to 20. I think this semester they're going to be pretty closer to the 10. So you also will be allowed handwritten notes on a 3x5 card. One side though. So it'll be handwritten notes, so you'll have to really pick. I recommend not blacking out your note card. I don't think that helps. I think you should write down what you keep forgetting while you're doing your homework. How's your grade calculated? It's a weighted grade. So homework assignments are 20% of your grade. Now this homework notation work is 10% of your grade. So it's a whole letter grade. So please just write down your homework. That's all you have to do and turn it in. And you'll get a whole letter grade for just writing down your homework and turning it in. I will update Blackboard grades each week. There will be a column for homework grade because I don't like the way my lab talks to Blackboard, so I'll have to update it myself. So I'll do that every week. This says midterm exam and your final exam is higher. We won't have a midterm exam. This is something I did not catch editing from the summer to the fall, but I'm going to keep it there, and I'll fix the document though. So you'll replace exams 1 or 2. You'll have 3 exams, right? This is correct up here, 2 exams and a final. You can replace your final exam score with one of those 2 exams if it is higher. You can't do the other way. You have to take the final. That's like a school rule. I can't get around that. And the only reason I'll replace one of those 2 exams with the final is because the material required to know in the final exam covers all material in 1 and 2. So it won't be comprehensive. The final will be like the last chapter and a half. You'll get there with the material. This is how you can calculate your grade. You'll have a column in my lab. I'll calculate it in my lab for you. You'll have a homework average times 0.20, that's 20%. You'll have a notation average times 0.10, that's 10%. And then your exam average times 0.70. Really what you should do here, and I'll fix it in the document as well, you should do 2 exams. So homework average out of the 2 exams times 0.4, and then plus the final exam times 0.7. So this will look different on your document when you grab it. So check out yours. These are little mistakes that I tend to miss semester to semester, but I'll fix it so you guys, when you read it, you won't feel confused. Just in this video, it'll be a little different. Okay, how do you get started? Getting started, just go to week 1. So let's get there. And I'll show you where that's at, or you can read this again if you need it. You'll have 2 sections this week you need to watch and work through my lab, writing down each problem and showing work to submit. So you'll take a picture or you'll scan your homework to turn in. Okay, so that's the start here. You can rewatch this video or read through that if you would like. Any errors I will fix, like I said I would. So let's go. This I'm not going to collect this, but these will be my announcements. I don't like the Blackboard Ultra doesn't do announcements. So if I send you an email, I have no record of sending that out. So I'm just going to put all messages from me right here. I'll also send an email out, but they're also going to get copy and pasted. Here's a profile of myself, a little blurb about me. I'm a musician. You can check that out, and a picture of me and my dog, one of my dogs. We could talk about music if you'd ever like. I'm pretty eclectic, and I play in several bands across the Tulsa area. So if you'd like to talk about music, math, any of that, please reach out. I wouldn't mind chatting. So, okay, syllabus, schedule, and attachment. So let's click here. This is where why I dread the beginning of semesters is having to go through the syllabus. But I'm going to go through, we went through most of this already, but I'm going to go ahead and show you formally so you have seen it in this video. My name, Josh Gregory. We're at Northeast Campus. I am AB225C. It's one row with several offices. You'll just find me there. I have a skeleton hanging from my office. Student hours I have by appointment. I'll get more detailed once I jump into this week. If you need to see me this week, at the beginning of the semester, please let me know. Here's that phone number again that you can text me at. Please do not call me. I won't answer. If you'd like to talk on the phone, all you need to do is send me a text telling me you'd like to chat on the phone, and I'll call you back. It's a blurb about Calc 3. I won't read that off to you. We've already talked about the homework, the notation work, and the exams. The 3 things expected of you. The weekly homework will be my lab homework. The homework notation work, this is just a scanned copy of your homework with every problem written out. And here in a moment, I'll show you what that should look like. There will be a total of 3 exams. Exams will be returned within 1 week of due date via school email upon request. Those of you in the classroom, I'll just hand them back to you. Okay, there's our percentages. And then this again, I got to go fix that. This is wrong here as well. Just have to split this average up between my 2 exams and my final, since the final is 30% while each one of those exams are 20%. Okay, late assignments. How this will work, it's all in my lab. You'll get a 30% point deduction for each late problem, right? So like, it's just like, I guess for each, it should be in each late problem. So you'll get, if you do a late problem, you'll get 0.7 of the points for that late problem. So if it was 10 points for that problem, you'd get 7. They'll be available. This will be available up until the associated exam, meaning like everything for section 13, you have to do that before the first chapter 14. So or 13, meaning, let me start over there. So for our first unit, it's chapter 13. This next week, 13.1 and 13.2 are due. And let's say you are late. If you are late, then you can work those chapters, those sections, up until the unit exam with chapter 13 on it. We only do 3 exams, so it's not chapter 13, 14, 15, and up. They're grouped different. We'll see that in the schedule here in a moment. So I'll explain that again with the schedule. Okay, AWs will only be granted to students experiencing extreme and rare circumstances. I can't give you an AW because you're failing. Can't give you an AW for it's got to be like pretty extreme, like pretty rare. So please do, if you're curious, you can ask, but please know that we reserve those for like weird situations that the student have no control of that really interrupted their life. Okay, another thing, WN, this is just non-participation in this first week. Most of you that are watching this you're going to participate because you're already here. But if you decide not to participate in the first week or by the WN dates, you can check these out online. And if you're curious, you can ask me. If you don't do anything by that WN date, I will drop you from the class. Right, textbook, we've talked through this. Here's a picture of this book. You may have seen this already if you've taken calculus here at TCC. Here are our outcomes for Calc 3. I'll let you read through those if you'd like. We have tutoring centers. I will put some links up on the Blackboard site. They're not there yet, but I'll make sure I put them up. We have free tutoring at TCC. You paid for it in your tuition. We actually have virtual tutoring too, and they're getting pretty decent at that. I have to warn you, Calc 3, it's kind of difficult to find students that have taken it and need help. I think Metro Campus right now has a decent amount of students that have taken it. But there should be somebody available for you, especially virtual. If you need tutoring as well, I am available. You just have to reach out, and I'll put some hours up eventually. All right, the schedule, we'll go through it here, but it's on the next slide as well. So you can see we can do 2 sections per week. Everything is due on Mondays. I like doing Mondays because most people do Sunday. So Monday gives you another day where you could finish it then. Notice we're going to have 2 a week, and then we'll have an exam. The good thing is you'll have a whole week to get your review. You won't get a review, but to make your own review and do your own practice test and get ready for the exam that will be due the Monday at the end of that week. This was at a testing center if you're online. TCC testing center, or you have to communicate with me and we have to figure it out if there's another university or college that you can take or testing center close to you. Okay, notice that this splits up into 3 sections, 3 units, and they don't split like cleanly across units. I mean, the first one does. We'll do all 13 and 14, then we'll do 15 and some of 16. It's me breaking up some of the heavy topics. That way you don't, to try to make you not feel so overwhelmed doing all this at once. The 3 exams, I like to do 3 exams because it typically won't line up with your other classes, because your other classes typically do 3 exams and a final. I'm going to do 2 exams and a final. Also, if you're online, this will help with the campus requirement or testing center requirement. Last day to withdraw is Friday, November 8th. If you're going to withdraw, maybe reach out to me. Maybe there's something confusing. Maybe that's keeping you up. Maybe you've fallen behind, and maybe we can work together to get you caught up. So please ask. Right, so that's the schedule. That's the next part, so you don't have to go through the syllabus to get that. This is a syllabus attachment that's required from the college. So take a look at that. There's some good information there. Weekly work, this is what this looks like. So I'm going to show you this because this is probably going to be your best friend at times. The MyLab homework solutions. I have worked out every single problem that you will work out. Mine are different numbers because that's how MyLab works. But the help me solve this isn't too helpful sometimes. So I decided just to work every problem out the way I would work it, so it would be more comparable to guided notes and the way I would want you to work it. This is also an example of notation work. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I want to see. You just write the problem out. You can just sketch this. You don't have to get a copy like I did. And you just work the problem out. That's it. I just want you to get used to seeing the directions, because what happens a whole lot in Calc 3 is I have people do the homework and it feels good because that's the only thing they're doing in that section is, finding this length. So they know what to do it. But as soon as it's a random question on a test, they typically they'll get confused because they're not used to finding the length after doing this and doing this. You need to get used to getting used to what they're asking you to do. So I would like you to write it out. I know it's a pain. I did it. So, but this is just time management, right? It's good to write this stuff down. And I know it's going to be painful because I have done it, but it's worth it in the end. I had a student at the end of last semester. They weren't required to show the work in the end because summer was pretty fast. It's pretty brutal. Calc 3 is. And they didn't have to do it. And the student was like, I still did it in the last one because I got so used to doing that and studying that way that they kept doing it. So that was cool. But here are all the answers. Please do not just copy these and turn these in. This will not help you in the slightest. You will just be getting the little bit of points that for that, and then you will fall flat on the test. So please take the time to do this. They're all here though, all the whole homework set. So they're there. What week 1, week 2 this looks like. There's some time stamps here to give you. This is just a link to my video. Plus the median time they give this me in my lab. They tell me how long the average student takes. So I added those together. So this first week, if you think that's going to be, if you're the average student, you think that would be the time required. If you're a slower student, then you're going to have to put some more time to this a week. Those of you that are in class, this is including the lecture. I'm just slower in person. I like to rant in some ways, and I like to kind of over-explain because I can see your face. Unfortunately, that's very difficult to do in a video, so the videos are a bit shorter. And I just move a little quicker in the video because I don't see any kind of reaction from students. So if you're online, that is the total time an average student would take if you just watched the videos and you just kind of did the homework and didn't have very many problems at all. Okay, so please plan accordingly. These numbers are pretty low, I believe, for a total time requirement for an online 4-hour credit class. So I think it actually probably takes a little bit longer than what's there. I think their average student is a pretty sharp student. So what this looks like, you'll go in here. I need you guys to do a syllabus quiz this week, so please do that. Do it until you get all answers right. I believe you can. And then here's how it's broken down. So this section 13.1 will be this section. 13.2 will be the next one, and then this is where you'll submit your homework. So please start writing your homework down right away. I had several students last semester that did all their homework in 13.1 and 2, and then got down here and was like, oh, I had to write them down, and they had to go back through if they wanted credit and write down everything after the fact, which is doubling time-wise. Okay, what this looks like is you'll click here. This will be a PDF of my notes, so you could print these, or if you're using a tablet. Up front, there's a lot of info, so I didn't put very much fill-in spaces. But as we go along, I do less of this copy the textbook thing, and we do more explanation. So this will be pretty good, especially when we get into the three-dimensional graphing, because I will give you pictures of the coordinates, like the three-dimensional plane. That way you don't have to try to sketch it yourself. Okay, here's my video playlist. This is on YouTube. I have 2 of them. I have one because I had to teach Calc 3 and it was an emergency. I had to jump in and do it, and I had to record videos. So I just recorded videos, and they were videos based on Dr. Leonard's, Professor Leonard, some guy online out of Cali, I think. But they're his videos, and there's a whole playlist based on that. And then here's my actual notes where I'm doing my own thing. So this is a playlist. This is the whole course. So there are 180 videos. Some of them are a few minutes. Some of them are 40 seconds. Some of them are 15 minutes. So I try to keep them pretty short and spread out. That way you can chunk up your homework and you don't have to listen to me very long. Okay, the 3.1, and then you'll click here. This will take you to my lab. Please go ahead and do that. I think most of you guys have done work in my lab before. If you have not, please reach out to me and I'll find some kind of introduction for you. This is where you'll hit the paywall of either buy from Pearson, or you can try to get online from the bookstore. And I think you have to order a card, and then it takes a few days. So you'll have to use, there's I think a 2-week trial that you can use if you need to do that. So do whatever you need to do there. But if you are can't afford it right away, go ahead and do the trial and get started. Again, you do not want this homework to pile up. All right, so that's that full section. And then you'll turn it in, your work here for notation. You'll just click here, go to view instructions, click down here to submission, and go to attachment here. And you can upload your homework. Just take a picture with your phone, make it a PDF. PDFs are ideal for me. They just pop up on here. I don't have to do any weird downloading, so please make it a PDF. Scan it. Just make sure I can see it. I just need to see that your work is there, but it's mainly for you. I'm just making it a requirement also for your grade. It kind of helps out having that easy 10%. And then also it is super beneficial, and this is my way to force buy-in to get you to do it. All right, so that would be your week 1, and then you go through. I have the whole semester posted, so you could go through. The only thing you can't do early would be your exams. You're going to have to take that with the class. So I'll give you more details on each exam as we approach. Another way to get into the Pearson stuff, there's an Access Pearson tab down here. If I click it now in the student mode, it's going to take me to a paywall, and I'm not going to pay for it because that's silly. So you'll have to go through there. If you're having a hard time accessing Pearson, please let me know. This should take you straight to the class. You don't need an access code or anything like that. It is just a direct, straight channel to it. All right, I think that covers everything. If you have any questions, please reach out. Go ahead and get started as soon as possible. I hope you watched this video on day 1 and did not wait until the end of the week. All right. I look forward to working with you guys this semester. Please reach out as much as you need to. Please do not hesitate. I am not a scary person. I will help you as much as I am able, but you have to reach out.